Hello, everyone. So today I will share with you three phrases that we use in the corporate sector. As a working professional, this is critical that we understand how we frame our answers or how we reframe our answers. Okay. So today I will share with you three phrases that we generally use in the corporate sector. Let me share the screen and let's get started. Give me a moment. So the three phrases that I'm talking about that we use in the corporate sector are these. The first one, hedging your opinion. Hedging your opinion. The second one, buying thinking time. Buying thinking time. And the third one, agreeing professionally. Agreeing professionally. Now let's understand each of these with examples. So let's start with the first one, hedging your opinion. Now, what does hedging mean? So what does the word hedging mean? Well, as you can see on the screen, hedging means softening your opinion so you sound polite and professional. Softening your opinion so you sound polite and professional means when you give an answer, it's not a very direct answer. You try to soften it up. Okay, try to sugarcoat it a bit and then you give the answer. That is called hedging your opinion. Okay, so you can try this word. You can make a sentence also with the word hedging. You can comment in the comment section. Hedging, okay, means softening your opinion. Now, what are the professional hedging phrases? Let's look at it. Now you can see it here. I may be wrong, but so let's say you disagree with somebody's opinion. You don't agree with that opinion and you want to share your opinion. So instead of saying, I have this opinion, why don't you just soften it up a bit and say, I may be wrong, but however, okay? And then you continue the sentence. Or from my perspective, in my opinion, in my perspective, from my perspective, then you continue the sentence. Instead of directly saying, no, you are wrong, I disagree with you, it sounds very blunt. Okay, so just sugarcoat it a bit, soften it a bit, and then try to say it. This is called hedging your opinion. So you don't give a very direct answer, which may sound a bit unprofessional and it may hurt others a bit. You just soften it up a bit and then you try to say it. I think we should also consider. So here I'm not directly saying that the other person is wrong. What I'm saying, I think we should also consider this opinion. Or perhaps we can explore another option. So I'm just giving an alternative rather than just saying that, no, I don't agree with you. I'm giving an option. So this is how you speak in the corporate sector. Instead of just saying that, no, I disagree with you, I don't agree with you, I think you are wrong, just try to soften it up a bit. Just try to make it a bit more, try to sugarcoat it a bit, and then try to make that sentence. It will sound more professional, it will sound good also, and the other person will not be offended. Okay, so that is called hedging your opinion. Hedging your opinion. Okay, you try to soften it up a bit. Example, instead of saying your idea is wrong, so let's say you don't agree with somebody and you say your idea is wrong, why don't you say, I think we may need to review this strategy once again. I think we may need to review this strategy once again. Instead of directly saying, your idea is wrong, I don't agree with you, it does not sound good. Just try to soften it up a bit, and that is called hedging your opinion. I hope that gives you clarity. Now let's move to the next one. Buying thinking time. What does that mean? Buying thinking time. Now use these phrases when you need time to think during meetings or interviews. So let's say somebody has asked you a question and you are not ready with the answer. You need some thinking time. In this case, we use these type of phrases that I'll share with you right now. Now look at these options. Well, let's say somebody has asked you something and you immediately don't have the answer. You need at least 3-4 seconds to think on it. So why don't you say something like, that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. Or let me think about it. Or let me organize my thoughts. And then you continue. Here's how I would approach this. Now, just understand what is happening. In this 1 or 2 seconds while you are making this sentence, your mind is technically thinking about the answer. You need this buffer time to think about the correct answer. Many times it happens we are in an awkward situation. A question has been asked and you immediately don't have the answer. You need some thinking time. That is called buying thinking time. You need some thinking time just to recollect your ideas and then give the answer. Okay. So in that case, instead of directly jumping into the answer, which right now you don't have, just make a small phrase like, that's an interesting question. However, just give yourself some time to think on the answer and then go ahead with the statement. Okay. Example, let's say somebody has asked you in an interview, why should we hire you? Now, immediately you are not prepared with the answer. So you just make two phrases to give yourself some time, leverage your answer, and just then say it. That's an interesting question, or that's a great question. Well, let me explain this from my experience, and then you continue the answer. These 2 to 3 seconds can give you thinking time to recollect the ideas and frame your answer in the right way. Okay. So at any point of time when you do not have the exact answer, you need 2 or 3 seconds to recollect the ideas, think about it. Just use 1 or 2 phrases. Don't go blank. Understand, many professionals face this challenge. They go blank. Okay. Never do this. Just give yourself some time, go in a proper way, and then make the sentence. Then last one, agreeing professionally. What does it mean? Avoid repeating, yes, sir, it is correct. So many times we agree, but we don't agree it professionally. We just copy paste somebody's answer or just say, yes, sir, which is not a very proper way to answer something. Okay. So instead of saying, let's say boss has said something and you're saying, yes, sir, correct. You are correct, sir. Yes, sir, I agree, sir. Why don't you just try to change it a bit? Okay. For example, well, I completely agree with your point. Now, see, this is a difference between yes, sir, correct, or instead of saying this, you are saying, I completely agree with your point. I completely agree with your point. This sounds more professional. That makes perfect sense. Well, that makes perfect sense. So instead of saying yes, sir, correct, why don't you say that makes perfect sense, sir? Or, sir, I share the same opinion. See the difference of answers. This is what business English is all about. Here you are framing your answer in a very professional way. Or, well, sir, you have raised a valid point. So instead of saying, yes, sir, you are correct, I'm saying, sir, you have raised a valid point. Now, this is called professional agreement, or agreeing with somebody professionally. Okay. I hope this gives you clarity. So while you are speaking, just try to change the nature of the sentences and try to speak in a more professional way without hurting the ego of the other person, without sounding very robotic. Just try to frame the sentences in a different way, and you will see you are able to connect with the audience in a much better way. Okay, a quick recap. So 3 things we focused on. Number 1, hedging your opinion means soften your opinion. While you are giving an answer, try to soften your opinion. Number 2, buying thinking time. When you don't have an exact answer, give yourself some time. Make 2 or 3 phrases. Well, that's an interesting point. So let me share my opinion. Like this, you are buying thinking time. These 2-3 seconds are like gold. It will give you time to think on the proper answer. And agreeing professionally. So once you have to agree with somebody, just don't say bluntly, yes, sir, you are correct, sir. I agree with you, sir. Just try to reframe it in a different way. Well, it's an extremely valid point. So these are the 3 things that we covered today. I hope that gives you clarity. We will share more videos in the upcoming sessions. And if you have joined us for the first time, in the comment section, I'll be sharing with you 50 powerful English phrases, which you can download, go through it, and it will give you clarity how to speak better English as well. That's it for this video. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.